If you don't do nothing, you don't get nothing. That's when you should have had that conversation with him a long time ago when he was his age. Not at 15, it's too late. It's 15-year-old gets no new clothes for school. Wait until you hear why.
I'm not going to school looking like I came out of a thrift store.
This is the Raising Carter podcast. I am your host, Ramon Weatherall. I'm not flying solo. I got the man of the show. The reason why we started the show right here, and we want to dive into this video right here and get your opinion. We're going to give our opinion. So here we go.
Am I a bad dad for refusing to spend a single dollar on my teenager's school clothes this year? Start of the summer, I told my son, if you get a job, I'll match every dollar you make for back to school shopping. He's 15. It's totally legal to work in Maryland with a permit. So he talked about wanting to work, never filled out any application. Said, I'll get around to it all summer, week before school. Now he's acting like I'm just going to hand him money. It's not just like he wants basic. Like I'm not going to, not buy him socks or whatever. We're talking like Nike Air Force Ones, Jordan,
right.
Hollister, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
I say, you can pay for them yourself. His mom, my ex, says I'm being a bad dad because now he's starting school without anything new and all his friends have fresh outfits. I'm thinking, right, this is a life lesson.
Yeah.
He needs to learn. You don't just get handouts. You don't get rewarded for doing nothing. So I'm not stopping him from getting clothes. He can buy them himself. And to me, this isn't a punishment. This is parenting.
Now that's just dumb.
Was the guy in the top the guy that was talking?
No, he's the radio host. So what do you think?
Okay. So, first of all, you couldn't help them get a job?
He said they talked about getting a job. I didn't hear that before, so I'm glad I didn't comment before. He said they talked about getting a job, and he told them, if you get a job, I will match whatever you make. Whatever you make, I'll match it. I'll get you. So you'll be, you'll have a lot of money if you go to work.
I'm going to say this now. It depends. Air Force Ones now, they cost $75?
More than that.
More than that. I really didn't know, so I can't answer this in my best way, how many days there were before school, because when you get a job, they gotta fill out your application.
He's saying they talked about getting a job in the beginning of the summer, and he said he was going to do it, but he never got around to doing it.
You gotta find the right job. You can't just walk. This isn't the old days where you can just walk into a store and say, I would like to get a job application. You gotta do your research and see what place is hiring. You gotta get your resume ready. That could take easily 2 to 4 weeks to do all that. And then they could turn you down easily. I could see my son easily getting turned down just because he was 15.
So do you think it's unreasonable what he asks, at 15 to get a job? Is it unreasonable?
Now I see for back to school shopping, no. I don't think
just for the summer.
Just for the summer. No, it's not. It's really not. I could see the part where it's important to get a job for just the summer for vacation and fun stuff, but for back to school shopping, they're not in college now. You're paying for your son's stuff still. So I think the mom was right. But yeah, getting a job and having them pay for back to school shopping is something you should do, but not not helping them get a job.
Yeah. Okay. That's Carter's opinion. Well, let me give you another dad's opinion. First of all, he didn't get a job because you haven't prepared him to get a job. He didn't get a job because you don't know your son. You should have known that your son wasn't equipped or the type of person that would want to work. So you acting like you didn't know that your son is lazy and he wouldn't go get a job because you told him. You guys probably don't have the best of relationships, because If you talked about something and then he goes out and tells you he's going to do it and still doesn't do it, why are you surprised? And why are you saying, oh, he can pay for it on his own? How is he going to pay for it on his own? How's he going to, he don't have no money to pay for it on his own. So you know, so what is he going to do? See, that's why a lot of kids do stuff they shouldn't do. Because, see, parents play these games like this.
Our parents did not help us with our job search. We're not getting any help. So what are we going to do then?
That's why a lot of kids go out here and do things because parents play those type of games and then they don't get them ready to go get a job. They don't prepare them for the real world, and now they just try to kick them out to the real world. Now go get a job. Yeah, and then they try to do these little, well, I'll match whatever you make if you go get a job. Well, you knew damn well he wasn't going to get a job anyway. That's why you had to tell him, I'll match whatever you make. You tried to give this lazy boy some incentive to get a job when you knew damn well he wasn't going to get one anyway. So now this is an excuse for you so you don't have to do anything. You ain't fooling nobody. You're not fooling nobody. You're not fooling me. I know better. If you had a good relationship with your son and you guys talked about getting a job, you as a father, you should have tried to help him get a job that he was suited for, that he would do. You know, he's only 15, so get him a job that he would do, and then you don't have to tell him, oh, I'm going to match whatever you're going to do. You just do that at the end. You just add that on at the end. Like my old man told me a long time ago, I will help you if you're doing the right thing. If you're not doing the right thing, I'm not going to help you. That's the conversation, sir, you should have had with him a long time ago. A long time ago when he was his age. That's when you should have had that conversation with him. If you don't do nothing, you don't get nothing. Not at 15. It's too late. It's too late. So yeah. You can fool other people, but you can't fool me. You knew he wasn't gonna get a job anyway.
Think about it. And like kids, they can be cruel in this. I haven't been bullied, but I've seen a couple other kids being bullied. Kids can be cruel. Like they will judge you because you have the same shoes for like 6 months now.
Yeah,
they are very cruel.
Yeah,
and just not gonna say it now, but like. Your kid could probably try to escape town because they're getting bullied so much.
Or he could end up trying to do something illegal because it's fast, it's easy. He don't want to work. He's lazy. You know? Yeah. It's nothing wrong with telling your 15-year-old son to get a job, but you got to do your part too, and you should have done it way before he was 15. And he shouldn't, a father-son relationship, you shouldn't sit in your son's face and tell him you're going to do something that you know you're not going to do, and he shouldn't sit in your face and tell you, I'm going to get a job and don't do it. No. You guys' relationship is not good from the get-go because he's telling you things he's going to do and he's not going to do it. No. Yeah, so I don't even know why you called in. I wouldn't even called in and said that. You already knew the answer. You just hoping that other people will see your point of view so you won't feel so bad. But you are being a bad dad. Not because you didn't want to buy him something, it's because you didn't get this lazy boy ready to work. You want him to work. You know he lazy. You know he not doing what he should do. So now all of a sudden you want him to work when he turned 15. You knew he was lazy when he was 11, 12 years old. Now you trying to make him work at 15? Stop it.
The thing about like not teaching your kids how to work is like equivalent to not training your dog to not bite random people. It's going to get them in trouble. Your kid could be like 20. I've seen this happen to people. They're like 20. They don't got a job. They live here with their parents. They kick them out, right? You're trying to find a part-time job. I bet you that's how most homeless people ended up. either from
Yeah.
gambling addictions. And the thing is, you're not going to help them. You're just going to say, well, that's your problem, not mine.
Yeah. Do you think it's right for, in a father-son relationship, for you to tell each other things, or basically lie to each other? To if I tell you I'm going to do something for you and I don't do it, and you tell me you're going to do something and you don't do it, do you think that's that's a good way to communicate? Should that, when they sat down and they talked about a job, do you think it was right for the son to tell him, I'll get a job, and he knew he wasn't gonna get one, or he didn't want one?
It's not right to say, like, I'm going to get one. You could say, like, that, I don't know if I'm going to get one, but I'm going to try to get one. Not just straight up say, you can't.
But why? Yeah, but I agree. There's no reason for you to say I'll try to get one, because I'm telling you right now, when you turn 15 or 16 years old, if you if it you're gonna have to do something. I agree with the father. You're gonna have to do something, but you can't wait that late to try to make it a point. You can't wait to try to make that point. You got to be doing that now. That's the reason for this podcast. That's the reason why I'm telling you, give your sons the essential life skills they need to make it, so they don't fall victim to financial literacy, so they don't fall victim to being in bad relationships, so they don't fall victim of not knowing how to be a man. You got to start that now. You had to start that when he was 5 and 6 years old, 7 years old, teaching him. You wait until he's 15 and now you want to call some radio station? Man, stop it. I hope you do see this video and you comment and you say something to me, because I'm telling you the real, bro. I'm telling you the real. That's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. If you really wanted him to work, you should have been out there trying to help him find a job. And if you helped him find a job and he quit it, then hey, you get nothing. But just, oh yeah, go find. I don't know if you tried to find him a job, but my point is still valid, that you basically knew this boy wasn't going to do anything. And if you guys had a better relationship, if he decided that he didn't want to work, then why? What are you doing? Reasons that you don't want to work, and why do you still think I should buy you expensive clothes for what? For what? No, no. The bottom line: do you think their relationship is a good relationship? The father-son relationship. Do you think it's a good relationship?
Nope.
What?
Because,
Yeah.
no.
No. Yeah, I agree. You might not agree with nothing else I say, whatever. I really don't care. But I think we can all agree that you two's relationship isn't good, just for the simple fact you calling in on a radio station talking about it, giving us content to make for other fathers to see. That is not what you should do. That is not what you should do.
I kind of hope he sees this now so that he can reflect on this video, because tell me how. It's like late summer. It's summer. I get, like, your kids should probably try to find a summer job, but it's summer. They want to hang out with their friends. You probably could have said that probably like
Yeah.
maybe 3 weeks before summer. They want to hang out with their friends. They don't want to have to work on finding a job. Actually, I wouldn't do the same thing, but like I would probably wouldn't have gotten a job either in that short amount of time. Summer is only a couple weeks. That's the same amount of time it could took me to get a job.
I don't disagree with him getting a job. I just disagree with you not knowing, you acting like you don't know your son. Like you didn't know he was lazy. You didn't know, like, was he into sports? What's the reason why he didn't want to work? what's the reason why? Like, are you leaving that part out? Was he playing baseball or basketball? Was he doing something where it was hard for him to work? If he was just sitting around at home doing nothing, you know this boy. You know him. You know him, and you're just gonna all of a sudden try to make him into something that he's not. No, no, you cannot. That's why this podcast is so important. You do not have a lot of time. You do not have time to waste. You have to know who your son is. You have to get in his head and make him understand what is important. That one day he has to support himself. One day you have to support yourself. No, that's the truth. So that was this episode of the Raising Carter podcast. You ain't getting no damn school clothes, but your daddy, he ain't right either. Sounds like your mama might buy you something, but yeah, pops, you wrong, man. And you probably end up caving in because you don't sound too confident. You probably end up caving in and buying them some stuff anyway. And if that's the case, all this was for nothing. So what do you got to say to end this thing off, man?
I just want to say, guys, after watching this podcast, do not do the same
Yeah.
thing. If you're going to do it, like, actually think. Do not follow what he did. And, like, help them get a job, you know. And if your son is, like, 5, 6 years old, I would recommend it. Get off this podcast now. Well, not stop watching it, but go upstairs, you know, teach him now before it's too late because, like you said, you don't have that much time.
You don't have that much time. And if you watching this video, check out the whole playlist of me and my son Carter, the Raising Carter podcast, the videos we do together. Because like I said, this podcast was made in honor of him. I'm really raising a son, so it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about. And if you want more help, go to our website, buildbetterdads.com. That's the website for fatherhood coaching, to get more fatherhood coaching from me, myself, and my team. So, hey, if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, what are you waiting on? Click on the next episode. Peace.